looking at this? Would that be when it says men with men? Would that be mankind coming in agreement with the flesh, the carnal mind?
That's what I would say. Yeah, they're like Tron said. They're giving up the wisdom to stay and stew in the ignorance of the the flesh, the fallen flesh, the reprobate mind that we were all in before Christ, or before being born again, I should say.
All right. Anyway, what's up? All right. Where are y'all reading from anyway?
Romans 1.
Okay.
20:18 through the end. All right. 32. Do 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 do.
All right. Got that done. Yeah, so obviously, when you read that in the Amplified, where Romans is talking about, and there's another part too, I just don't remember where it's at, but he even gets to a point where he's like, that they are inventors of new sin. Like it's crazy when you read it in the Amplified. Hold on.
And because Trey's not on here, when it said inventors of evils, so to be a stand-in, he say, well, that's the Catholic Church and the doctrine of Mary. I'm kidding.
Oh, my God. Yeah, bro. He would have been like, see, it's talking about the Catholics. Like, bro, stop. He goes like, bro, you do it. I was like, bro, level 1, bro. Level 1. I just kind of make fun of little stuff here and there, just like they do us. You don't got to hit them in the jugular like every week. Like, calm down. It's just, I don't know. People just, when they have it in their head that something it's wrong what you're saying, and, it's, you can choose to get upset about it, or, you can choose to do something about it and just start teaching people what the Bible is saying. Without that, but some people want to argue about it, and everybody gets tired. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you call it. You'll get tired. Your body will get tired of the fighting, and they'll get tired, but they're not tired yet. Some people aren't, they're not tired of the fighting. So they'll keep fighting. Some people, they're new in it, like arguing about this. They're new. Like they're 2-3 years old. So they got another 10 years to go. Let's go. And I'm like, I ain't going to be there with you for 10 years doing that. But you'll have people try to suck you into that. And I'm not even talking about Dre. I'm just saying anyone that gets into that, they're like, Trot, bro, you ought to bring that revelation and destroy them. I mean, I was like, no, that's not why it was given to me. It wasn't given to me to go around destroying Christians like it is done. I might as well just say, God, send me the fire you gave Elijah. He's going to be like, God, know you not what spirit you are of? You're going around setting everybody on fire. Calm down. But they'll get there on their own. Just give it time. Give it time. Yeah, just give it time. Because if they're not arguing against the Catholics, they just go find other Christians. And they're like, what you're teaching is blasphemy. And you're like, oh, you want to fight? Like some of them make you think they want to put boxing gloves on and go fight. Like, oh, you want to go fight about it? Yes, because, and then years later, hey, my bad, bro. I just didn't understand what you were saying. Yeah, clearly. That's why I didn't make an example of you and dust you up in front of everybody, literally with gloves on or without, whatever. It always happens. They always come back, my bad, bro. I already know. I know what Satan's doing. I ain't dumb. I can see him. You know what I'm saying? I love you, but I can see him, and right now he's still got you believing these things, that it's okay to go around and telling Christians that they're heretics and
They're not saved.
Yeah, they're not saved, and what you're teaching is a lie. And then when if they understood what the things that I was saying, it wouldn't be that way. But instead of arguing with them and saying, but you don't understand. Hold on. No, let me go over it. Get out of here. It's like, man, let me send you to the world for a little bit so it can beat up on you and you can understand. It's not that serious. Bro, if that was the way that I believed it was supposed to be, do you not know how many lives I would be in? Bro, that's not what the Bible says. No, it's not. Bro, I'd be on every live. Be straight carnage. Be like, they start calling TikTok.
Like scroll request.
Bro.
Scroll request.
It'd be TikTok carnage. I'd be straight carnage up in this place, dude.
Try would be like Bill, how he's got 2 phones, one for one live and one for another live, arguing at 7 debates at once.
Is that what Bill does? Bill's wild.
Oh yeah, he's got like a phone for like this live. He's got a phone for another live.
That's funny.
He's hears stuff in his background. He's in another thing debating.
Let me see. Lorena, am I here alone?
Okay.
Yes, Lorena. Looks like there's only 2 people on YouTube right now. We haven't really been on that long, so. Man, I need to change the title of that. Oh, crud. What'd I do? All right. Well, yeah, can hear them boys bucking. They're literally right by the house, though. Can I hear that?
Yeah.
Nina's like, that was stupid. Yes, bro. Yes.
They're louder than Trina and Tina, bro.
Oh, y'all can hear them too?
Mostly, not right now.
I got all the background noise. My sniffling. Well, somebody's gonna get on here and be like, "God, that's the loudest live," and they ain't even arguing. They're louder than any other live. I apologize. So I'm saying that tree. Let's see. We got right by the house. There's gonna be. These are the last 3 areas that's right next to the house. After that, there will more than likely, very rarely be any more bucking right next to the house. So the rest of it be in the back of the property. All right, what's up, man? What are we getting into? Y'all want to hop in? Let's get it. Just ignore the bucking. Ignore the chainsaws.
We never finished chapter 21 in 2 Samuel.
Man, are you sure we didn't finish that, bro?
Your internet was messing up.
Are y'all ready this time? Because every time we bring this up, y'all ain't ready.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that is not a for sure. That was a Jordan. Yeah? Yeah? Maybe? Probably?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely said yeah, but like it wasn't a confident yeah. It was like a yeah, possibly. Let's go. All right, 2 Samuel 20 win. 20 win. Let's check it out. 2 Samuel 21. All right. Is all the sidekicks here? Where Benny at? Benny ain't here? Where Breezy? Oh, man. Kenny, what's going on, man? Y'all ask. Did y'all invite Breezy and Benny or what? They can't come? What's going on?
They've been invited. It's up to them to take the invitation, Trot.
Well, I guess y'all gonna have to go over with that. They're gonna have to go to YouTube. How about that? New. What the heck does that mean, new? Oh, bro, look. They got coconut tree. They got palm trees as a gift.
Stop lying.
I swear, bro. I swear. I swear it. I'm going to see if I can gift it to somebody. All right, let's see. If you want to be in the poll to get a palm tree gift, you're going to have to come up on the panel. So Kelly, hurry up and come up here if you can. Y'all got to be on the panel. Oh, never mind. Man, who took my thunder?
That was.
Man, who did that? Man, who was that?
It was me.
It doesn't tell me. Oh, man, bro, that's cold. Oh, man, that's actually pretty big. Well, never mind now, Jay. Jennifer ruined it. I was waiting for everybody to be up here. Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna hang out.
Oh, you
Wait,
can.
no, do it again. I didn't even see it.
Well, you're gonna have to go watch the YouTube. I don't know what else to tell you.
It's not going to be on the YouTube.
Well, then I'll screenshot it and send it to you. Oh, I'll tell you how you can see it, Christian. Send one to somebody real quick.
I don't even know.
I was just gonna say that.
Send one to somebody. You
Just
see
at
it?
the top? Where is it?
I don't know. It's in the gifts, bro. It's palm trees.
I'm talking about the coconut tree. That's not new.
Oh, it's not?
I mean, I've seen it before.
I ain't never seen it. Has anybody seen that before?
No.
Look,
No.
there it is.
Kelly.
There it is. Did you see it, Christian?
Yeah.
Look at it. There you go.
Seen it.
Oh,
Thank
That,
you.
bro, that's new. That I've never seen that. I've never seen that.
Could have sworn I've seen that
Neither have
before.
I.
I ain't never seen it. Look, even
Well,
Misunderstood.
maybe I'm wrong.
If Misunderstood says it's new, bro, more than likely it's new.
Exactly.
Christian, remove
Yeah.
yourself.
She says, yes, it's not new. She said, yes, it's not new.
Oh. Well, then why would she say
So
yes?
try remove yourself.
Well, hold on. I wasn't the one. Hold on. I said it was new to me. I wasn't making a final statement, sir. You were. I wasn't.
Bro, you told me to remove myself.
Yeah. Why? Why did I tell you to remove yourself? Well, for what reason?
Because of me making an absolute and saying it's not new.
Right. That's an
then
absolute.
you thought
Hold on a
misunderstood.
second. Hold on. I
It's
said.
Clarity's
hold
Hold on a
original
second.
channel.
I said I didn't
No,
know.
Hold on.
I said it was new to
Let me
me.
finish. Let me finish. So hold on.
Hold on.
Clarity's here. Hold on.
Hold on.
Sophia, hold on.
Hold on. Hold on.
No, you hold on.
Listen,
Misunderstood.
hold on.
Go ahead. No, stop.
Christian, I'm at work. You know this, boo. Okay, so no, the gift is not new, but you guys don't battle, so you wouldn't see every gift that people use for battling.
Oh.
So it's been there, Troy.
Oh.
It's been there.
Okay. Well,
It's
so
like if someone-
so how long has it been
Oh, I want to
here?
send you a universe. Oh, well, it all depends on the level of the individual because not everyone has access to every gift.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Okay. Yes. So, yes, sir.
Oh.
But anyway, go ahead, Christian. Bye,
You
everyone.
misunderstood.
Thanks, sis.
I appreciate
Thanks for the
that
clarity.
you, yes, clarified that for us, Trot. And we'll just go from there.
All right. Okay, so in order for me to see this thing, I had to go, oh, look, there's a time. There's a time on it. So it's only going to be available for so long. Just so y'all know. So there's a summer something, I guess like a sunset, a sunflower thing with the rainbow. What else? I saw something else a while ago. Maybe that's all of them. Oh, fish and chips. What the heck, bro?
I like that one.
Fish and chips. I'm naming all the ones that have like a clock next to it because they're new to me. I ain't never seen them. All right, let me go to the very bottom. Well, I guess that's it. Oh, a rainbow sup? Like sup? I don't know. It's like a star sitting on a planet and there's like a rainbow around it. Boxing gloves, and they're not the same boxing gloves. Like they're like rainbow looking. They're like, they're like Mario, the Mario Brothers. You know when you get the star, that all them weird colors, that's what, or better yet, in the Mario Brothers, like you're driving on like a rainbow street. Y'all remember that? No? All right, never mind then. I just talked to myself. It's all right.
Yes, try.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
I absolutely remember.
Thank you.
the
Thank you. Thank you.
rainbow.
I feel better. I feel
You're
better.
welcome.
Thank you. I feel better. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You just wanted a Care Bear.
Yeah,
stare.
yeah. I
You
Care
put-
Bear stare. Whoa, who the heck put a
Robin.
tiara on my head? Rainbow Road, CJ? Yeah. I think that's what it's called. Hold on.
Thank you, sister. The silence of the panel.
Listen, here we go. We're going to 1 Samuel or 2 Samuel, Jennifer?
2 Samuel 21.
There we go. 2 Samuel 21. What's the verse?
Rob, we're going through the whole chapter.
The whole chapter. It's a short
Yeah.
chapter. That's fine. It's only got 22 verses. So we're talking about Rizpah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
This
Yeah.
is where they demand Saul's sons to pay recompense. Correct.
Not Saul's sons. No. David is not Saul's son.
No, I was just asking if that's where we were at. I wasn't sure. This isn't the same place.
First Samuel
That's fine.
1?
2 Samuel 21:1.
Oh, Second Samuel.
But to them now.
21.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, this is where I thought we were. And it said, and the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold, Saul, nor of this house or his house, neither for us shalt thou unalive any man in Israel. And he said, what shall say that will I do for you? And they answered, the man that consumed us, give us his 7 sons. Yeah. These are Saul's sons that David has to give over because Saul was after their lives, even though there was a pledge made to them that they wouldn't do that.
Oh, I thought you meant they were the ones doing it. I'm sorry.
No. It's okay. It might be on me. I might have not said it the best. But when Trot gets back, you tell him about his hat.
What? Tell me. Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. I'm going to tell you, boy, somebody made my heifer mad.
What?
Mm-hmm. Man.
What did they do? Make a cargo kaboom? Because I mean,
well,
the
details are irrelevant, but when she gets upset about something, it's because somebody crossed the line, and we'll just say that's obviously somebody crossed the line, big time.
From Trot, from the year that I've been here,
you guys got to drop down. I'm doing something right now. That was a mistake. Okay.
Oh. Anyways. From the 1 year I've been here versus someone who's married to you, the flesh has to be tested consistently, so it must have been really bad.
Oh, I could put. Oh yeah, first of all, I can guarantee you it was. I can guarantee you it was bad. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. What's up? What'd y'all figure out?
Nothing. We were just confirming that this is the part of Samuel where the Gibeonites are demanding Saul's sons because Saul went after them when he wasn't supposed to. He said there's a pledge that wouldn't happen.
All right, so y'all ready to read 21?
Samuel 21.
Who's reading?
1.
Who's reading?
I mean, I can read it. I'm definitely able to, but...
But what?
I was just going to say. But what?
Then there was a famine in the days of David, 3 years, year after year. And David inquired of the Lord, and the Lord answered, it is for Saul and for his bloody house, because he slew the Gibeonites. And the king called the Gibeonites and said unto them, now the Gibeonites were not of the children of Israel, but of the remnant of the Amorites, and the children of Israel had sworn unto them, and Saul sought to slay them in his zeal for the children of Israel and Judah. Wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord? And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt thou unalive any man in Israel. And he said, what ye shall say, that will I do for you. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us, and that devised against us, that we should be destroyed from remaining in any of the coasts of Israel, let 7 men of his sons be delivered unto us, and we will hang them up unto the Lord in Gibeah of Saul, whom the Lord did choose. And the king said, I will give them. But the king spared Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, because of the Lord's oath that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. But the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Armoni, and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai the Maholathite. Sorry. And he delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord.
All right.
And they fell also.
All right, so tell me who gave who to who and who got hung. Jennifer, Nina.
Okay, so it was Saul's sons that was offered.
All right, Saul's sons. Is that what it says? Where does it say that? Where does it say these are Saul's sons at?
It says, okay, but the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah.
You're gonna have to let everybody know where you're reading, bruh.
Sorry. 2 Samuel 21, verse 8. But the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth, and the 5 sons of Michal, the daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Mahalothite,
and delivered them, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay, so all right, so you're saying the 7 is because it says, but the king took the 2 sons of Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, whom she bare unto Saul, Armoni and Mephibosheth. So you're saying Armoni and Mephibosheth are 2 sons?
Yes.
All right, and then it says, and the 5 sons of man. Hold on a second. Gee. All right, the 5 sons of Michal, daughter of Saul, whom she brought up for Adriel, the son of Barzillai, the Metholite. Okay. 9 says, and he, who's he?
David.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
He delivered them into the Gibeonites. Yes.
Where's the proof? Where's the proof?
Because it says the king took the 2 sons and the 5 sons.
Okay. So 3 says, wherefore David said unto the Gibeonites, what shall I do for you? And wherewith shall I make the atonement, that ye may bless the inheritance of the Lord? And the Gibeonites said unto him, we will have no silver nor gold of Saul, nor of his house, neither for us shalt you kill any man in Israel. And he said, what ye shall say, that will I do for you. And they answered the king, the man that consumed us, sorry, man, I'm about to, and devised against us, it says that we should be destroyed from the remaining of any of the coast of Israel. Let 7. Okay, so the conversation is between who? David and who?
The Gibeonites.
All right, and the Gibeonites are like, check it out, homeboy. That crazy man, because of all the shenanigans, if you want to make this right, this is what you need to do. You need to give us 7 of his sons, right? Ain't that what?
Yes.
All right. So
that is what they said.
That's what they said. All right. And then 9 says, and he delivered them. So King David delivered the ones we just went over in, I think it's 8, right? He said, delivered them into the hands of the Gibeonites, and they hanged them in the hill before the Lord, and they fell all 7 together and were put to unaliving in the days of harvest, in the first days in the beginning of barley harvest. Okay, continue reading in 10. So far I think everybody is tracking. All right, 10.
Yep.
And Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock, from the beginning of harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. And it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan, his son, from the men of Jabes Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines had hanged them when the Philistines had slain Saul in Gilboa. And he brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son, and they gathered the bones of them that were hanged. And the bones of Saul and Jonathan his son buried they in the country of Benjamin in Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish his father, and they performed all the king commanded, and after that God was entreated for the land. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel. And David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines. And David waxed faint. And Ishbibenob, that was a tough one, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of whose spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with a new sword, thought to have slain David. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, secured him and smote the Philistine and unalived him. Then the men of David sware unto him, saying, Thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. And it came to pass after this, that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sibbecai the Hushathite slew Saph, which was one of the sons of the giant. And there was again a battle in Gob with the Philistines, where Elhanan, the son of Ja'ari or Agim, Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature, that had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes, 24 in number, and he also was born to the giant. And when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shemaiah, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants.
All right. So 9, let's see, days, the beginning of the harvest. All right, so 21:10. It says, and Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock. So she spread it for who? Says she spread it for her. Who's the her?
I guess it would be that Aiah spread it for Rizpah. Or sorry, Rizpah spread it for Aiah.
No, it says, and Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. The daughter of Aiah. Because remember, it always, and this is the reason why I'm saying this, is because like today in America, we don't talk like that anymore, right? We don't say so-and-so son of or so-and-so daughter of. But because the Bible does do that, now, when we get to, different translations, it's going to tell you, right, that she's doing it for herself. But I'm saying this because people will say, and Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, took sackcloth and spread it for her upon the rock. And they're like, well, she had to spread it on there for one of them. No, this is about Rizpah. And Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. So all that is saying right there is Rizpah. Like, it doesn't even have to say daughter of Aiah, but it does for many reasons, right? Many. But
thank you for clarifying that, because you said it 3 times and I got it. So Aiah is the mother.
No, that's not the point I'm making. No, listen, I don't want to talk about who's the mother, daughter. That's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is it says Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. So Aiah is the mother of Rizpah. Okay, but the point I'm making is it doesn't even have to say that. I'm saying if you just want to understand the story, does it have to tell you who the mom and dad is? No. Okay, but because the Bible does that a lot, you need to understand that when it's doing that, don't get confused on who it's talking about. It's talking about Rizpah. So it says in Rizpah, so now it's like, oh, by the way, that's the daughter of Aiah. So Rizpah took sackcloth and spread it for her, meaning herself.
Herself.
Okay? So if you're reading a different translation, it's probably going to say, and Rizpah spread for herself sackcloth upon a rock. Like it's just going to get straight to the jugular for understanding. But what I'm saying is, you may understand the black letters on the white page because the Bible does that for you. But the name of her mom matters if you want to see further into how the Bible is written. But if you just want to,
Her name is Falcon.
Which name?
Aiah.
Yeah.
Her mom's name is Falcon, and Rizpah's name was I just had it. Rizpah's name was what does Falcon mean?
Falcon, fowl of the air, bro. Fowl of the air.
Oh, okay. Yeah, unclean. Yep.
Well, no, there's 2 fowls of the air, brother. There's two of everything. You have a fowl of the air that's of one, and then you have fowl of the air. Like, for instance, when it says, and the Spirit descended on Jesus, but it talks about it was like in the shape of a dove. That's a fowl of the air. A dove is a fowl of the air, right? But it's a clean animal in the sense of typology and stuff like that in the Bible.
Yeah, I was going back to
context.
Deuteronomy, where it's just like owls and falcons you can't eat and all that other stuff.
Yeah. So it says, in Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah took sackcloth and spread it for her. Again, she's doing it for herself. There's nobody else there. It's talking about Rizpah. And she spread it upon a rock from the beginning of the harvest. So as soon as the harvest started is when she did this. So she left it there until water dropped upon them out of the heaven and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, or the beast of the field by night. So she didn't let any birds or any beasts come and sit on top of that sackcloth. Somebody help me out.
This part, I'm not saying we did the whole thing, but we have been over this.
I know we went over a little bit of it until I found out that y'all didn't know what y'all talking about, and I said y'all need to go study. Y'all remember that?
I don't remember that part. But
oh, listen to this. Well, you must be a sometimer. Sometimer listener. Was Christian not here?
No, I was here. This was within the last year.
Well, then what do you mean you don't remember?
The year that I've been here, remember, a year.
Then what do you mean you don't remember then?
I don't remember you saying you guys don't know what you're talking about, so go study this out. Just that part.
How do you remember everything else, but you don't remember that? Everybody else remembers that. This guy.
Well, I just don't. I don't commit the negative, the
this
memory.
Guy,
I guess.
Guy. Okay. Well, guess what? It did happen. I don't care if you remember it. Y'all didn't know what y'all were talking about. I was like, hey, who's this? Who's that? And I was like, and matter of fact, where it started was actually right here. And I said, and it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan, the son. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not where it was at. And he brought up, I want to say it was right here. Wait a minute. What was the first chapter y'all brought up to me? Was it 22?
20.
Oh, was it 20? My bad. Maybe it was 20. I'm sorry. Let's see.
Yeah, where the wise woman threw over the head.
No. What was the one that I was like, no, hold on. I'm going to find it. Right here. So, 2 Samuel chapter 20, verse 5, it says, so Amasa went to assemble the men of Judah. And I said, who's Amasa? That's where it was at right there. And I remember going over this years ago, and I was like, Amasa? Hold on a second. Wasn't Amasa? I remember being conflicted because I couldn't figure out, or I did, and I had read the Bible a few times already at this point, but I still couldn't remember whose side who was on. I felt like something was wrong with what I was reading, so I had to go back, reread. Starting around 15, I had to reread all that to get to 20 again. I was like, oh yeah. That's why I was telling y'all because I was studying something very specific when I was doing that, but. If you read the Bible, right, continuously over and over and over, you don't have to go recap. You know what I mean? And the only reason why I had to go recap is because I was studying something very specific and I couldn't recall, like, where Amasa fit. And so when I was going over it right here, I was like, I wonder if they remember. Because I remember I didn't remember. So I was like, hey, whose side is Amasa on? Y'all like, well, he's and it's not just Amasa. If y'all recall when we went over this, it looks like there's a couple of people, the way they're being flipped around, you can't tell whose side they're on. Y'all remember that, right?
They flip flop.
Yeah, it flip flops. So because y'all weren't comfortable with that, I didn't want to continue, and I said, hey, y'all need to go back. So I'm sitting here thinking 21 was the chapter. No, it was 20. Okay. All right. What verse we on? 10. Let's see. 11. No, I'm sorry. We went over 10. I was reading 11. All right. So what's up? What's going on with Rizpah? What's she doing? All right. No. Before we do that, I'm sorry. Before we do that, somebody tell me who Rizpah is. Who is this?
Rizpah is the concubine of Saul.
Okay, of Saul. And did it mention some of her kids that were taken, part of the 7?
Yes.
Yep. All right. So some of her kids are unalived. So she takes sackcloth and she puts it on this rock. And she leaves it there until water from heaven comes. Just keep that in your mind. And it says, and it was told David what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. And David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan, his son, from the man of Jabesh Gilead, which had stolen them from the street of Beshan, where the Philistines had hanged them. when the Philistines had slain Saul and Gilbo Babbins. All right. And it says, and he brought up from thence the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan, his son, and they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, and the bones of Saul and Jonathan, his son, buried. Saul and Jonathan, his son, buried they in the country of Benjamin, in Zelah, in the sepulchre of Kish, his father. And they performed all that the king commanded. And after that, God was entreated for the land. Moreover, the Philistines had yet war again with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him. Don't forget about the rock with the sackcloth, okay? I'm sorry, I thought I saw a question. Maybe not. All right. Let's see. Sounds like somebody's microphone is unmuted.
Christian. Mike was unmuted.
Yeah, it was him. All right. I'm going to go back to 15. So 2 Samuel 21:15 says, moreover, the Philistines had yet war against with Israel, and David went down, and his servants with him, and fought against the Philistines, and David waxed faint. And Ashi-Benob, which was of the sons of the giant, the weight of his spear weighed 300 shekels of brass in weight, he being girded with a new sword, though to have slain David. All right, and it says, but Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, succored him and smote the Philistine and killed him. So let's look at the name of the person that unalived this giant. But Abishai, somebody look up that name. Because
Abishai means.
Yeah.
Abishai means my father is Jesse. My father is a gift.
All right, my father is Jesse. Okay, and that's the name of the person that unalived this giant. My father is Jesse. That's so funny because David's father, and David unalived the giant, was Jesse. So funny. And it says, and what's the name of the giant? Ishbi-Benob. Look that name up. What does that mean?
Ishbi-Benob means... I got this.
His dwelling is in Nob, or Nob. My bad.
All right, so somebody tell me about Nob. And I better not have to be the one to say it. I better not, dude. Y'all better chat GPT or call a friend fast.
Is that the place where Cain was exiled?
I don't know. Is it?
Okay, so Genesis 4. Someone go and help me.
What does it say? Where does it say this giant's name means? Jennifer, what's the name of the giant? You just said it.
Nob.
So that's not it.
Nob means high place.
No,
priestly city in
No,
Benjamin.
I'm saying Cain went to Just go look it up. I'm sorry. I shouldn't even said nothing. Go look it up. Go tell us where Cain went.
Cain was exiled to
the land of.
God.
Yeah, I mean you're close, but a D and a B are different, right?
I was about to say I knew it wasn't Nob. It was Nod.
Yeah, but I don't know. You can't get more closer than that. Hey, Jennifer was like, "Hold on a second." See that? I mean, Jennifer, if you were reading this and you found out that this giant's name was a place from Nob, you automatically was like, "Wait a minute, is that where Cain went?" You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're like, "Wait a minute," and then obviously you're going to go check, right? And you're like, "Oh man, that's not." Excuse me. But what's good is clearly you have it memorized where Cain went. You have it memorized now. And some people can memorize easier than others, okay? Some other people it takes going over it 1,000,000 times. I mean, that's why you have some people, they're horrible at jobs. You give them a job to do and they're like, bruh, they got that sickness. What's it called? Learn slow and forget fast. All right, who is that? Let's see. Like Christian. Christian's got that learn slow, forget fast syndrome.
Bruh.
It's like,
every day a straw is removed.
it's all right, man.
It's in Palestine.
Okay, all right. So what does Nob mean? Nob, not Nod.
Nob means high place.
Yeah, high place. So let me ask, is anyone confused at this point that he's from a place that's called high place?
Nope.
No. Okay. Now, every once in a while, there'll be a zinger thrown in there. There'll be a zinger thrown in there where you're like, oh, clearly this place is going to be called high place or high pitched or high elevated or, hill or mountain. And then out of nowhere, it'll be like muddy water. And you're like, oh, crap. Like, I really thought that one was going to. And then in the story, you'll see why his name is Muddy Water or whatever. I made that up, okay? But I'm saying you'll know that okay, this got to be high place. It's got to be. But there's not only one form of pride in the Bible, okay? And I'm saying just like Jesus has many titles, pride has many titles too. You understand? So pride is called, give me the names of pride. Somebody give me a name of pride in the Bible.
Haughtiness?
No.
High place?
No, you can't answer no more. You messed up. Next. Oh my gosh. Somebody give me a name of Jesus that's not Jesus in the Bible.
The lamb, the lion.
Okay, so pride does that too.
I am.
Okay, so pride does that too. So give me a name of pride that's not pride. Jennifer. Nina. Give me a name of pride that's not the word pride. Sando said ego. No.
What about high mountain?
No, not ego. Okay. Belly. Sando got one. Belly. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Jen put arrogance. We're not talking about writing letters to our Congress. Jen got Jen got super smart with it. Arrogance. There you go, Jen. Flesh. There we go. Pride. Flesh. Belly. What else?
Leviathan.
Huh?
The Leviathan.
Yep, Leviathan. What else? I just need one
whale.
more. Huh?
The whale. The whale for Jonah.
No, that's belly. But again, the whale, it's not a whale, it's a large fish, and I already told you it's Leviathan, which Nina just said. So you ain't paying attention, sir. You're not paying attention. What about mountain?
I said mountain. I literally said mountain.
I didn't hear you say mountain. Anybody hear him say it?
I said high mountain.
I know.
No,
I said I didn't hear you. What? I'm not saying you didn't. I'm not saying you didn't say it. I'm saying I didn't hear you, bro. You understand? Kelly put snooty. No, Kelly. Snooty is not in the Bible. It'd be so funny if it was. And they're like, yeah, it is right here. Like, oh, wow. My bad. Matter of fact, now we got to look. Somebody see if the word snooty's in the Bible. I don't think it is, but.
Bro, it's not in the Bible.
Bro, I just said I don't think it is, but, just.
No results found.
No, I said no. Oh, I would have tripped. Oh, you'd be surprised, bro. I'm telling you, you'll think you have every word, and you're like, oh, that word is not in the Bible, and somebody will find it. You're like, oh, wow, bro. Like, my bad. I really thought. All right, so.
Maybe in the Gen Z Bible trot.
I guarantee you it's in there. I'll put money on it. They probably got a totally Greek and a Hebrew translation, too. Shoot. Oh, crap. Hold on. All right. We're good. We're good.
Chapter 10.
All right. So I don't want y'all to forget this. All right. So in 10, Rizpah takes the sackcloth, puts it on the stone, well, I'm going to say it the way it says it here. Upon a rock. She spread it upon a rock at the beginning of the harvest, and she left it there until it began to rain, right?
Yes.
All right. Watch this. It says, and it was told what Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah. Oh, I'm sorry. It was told to David. And it says, and David went. So watch this. She does this. David hears about it. And then 13 through 15, or 13 and 14, he went and takes the bones. He goes and gets the bones. And it says, moreover, the Philistines had yet war. We already read that. And then we get to this giant, Ishbenob. He's from where is he? From a place of what? Of hills? Or what does it say?
No, he's from a high place.
No, that's not how it worded it. Jennifer, how did it word it?
I'm lost, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
You're what?
It says his dwelling is in Nob. His dwelling is in Nob.
Hold on a second. Jennifer, you're lost. We're at 2 Samuel 21:16. You still lost?
Okay.
All right. So what does the word ben mean in Hebrew?
Of.
Ben in Hebrew?
Yeah. What is it? Son. Son. Son.
Yeah.
So that's why it says Ben-Nob, son of Nob. See that? Ben-Nob.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's Ishbi Ben-Nob. So his name is Ishbi, son of Nob. Benjamin, son of the right hand. Benjamin. So his name is Ishbi Ben-Nob. So he's son of Nob. But because they put the two words together, he's not just son of Nob. He's son from Nob, son of Nob from Nob. You understand? Hello?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So somebody look that up other than Christian and tell me, what does that name mean? Ishbi Ben-Nob. What does it mean?
Okay, Ishbi Ben-Nob. My bad. I accidentally clicked something there.
Brenda, I made it. Brenda, how long you been here? I wish it gave a time when someone made a comment. Guys,
So
forgive me for not seeing the comments. I need to move this thing out the way. All right, go ahead. What?
It means his dwelling is in Nob.
Yeah, his dwelling is in Nob. Okay, so Christian, that's what that means. His dwelling is in Nob. Okay, his dwelling is in Nob. All right, and Nob means what? What does Nob mean?
Place.
Huh?
High place.
All right, so his dwelling is in a high place. His dwelling, which means he dwells in pride. That's where he dwells, right?
Right.
So if he dwells in pride, he's in his belly, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. That means his father is the Leviathan. That's who his father is, which means he's part of the world, which means he's in the sea, which means he is a boistering wind. He's a murmuring. And he's in the sea. That's where he's at. All right. So 17 tells us the name of this man that wants to unalive David. And then it tells us, let's see, and it came to pass that there was again a battle with God, blah, blah, blah. All right, and it says, God says, then Sibbachai, the Hishitite, slew Saph, which was the son of the giant. So Saph was also like one of the sons of the Anak, son of the giant. So what does Saph mean?
Sath means, or Saph.
Yeah, Saph.
It's going to be H5593, and it means tall.
Yeah. All right. Again, why is his name Tall?
Because he's a giant.
No.
Because his father's a Leviathan.
No. Christian. No, Christian. No. Now, you're right, Jennifer. Black and white pages, we already know he's tall, right? So his name means tall. But outside of the black and white pages, why would his name mean tall?
High place.
High place, right? Pride, right? So when we're when we're talking about, I don't know, the book of Daniel, right? We get into Nebuchadnezzar, and he's got this dream about this big, tall tree. What does Daniel tell him about the tree? Jennifer.
What does he tell Daniel about?
Yeah, remember he said, I had a dream. I need someone to tell me. So Daniel interprets the dream about the big tree. What does he tell him?
Ooh.
Christian, be quiet. You don't remember?
I remember some of it, but I can't remember what he tells him.
He tells him that tree is you, Mr. Pride. That's you, the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see how the Bible constantly points to this idea of things being tall and big and all this. And then when the children of Israel chose a king, they chose the tallest person, right?
They sure did.
Why? Why'd they choose the tallest tree? Huh? Why did all the trees envy that tree? Why?
It was pleasing to the eye.
Yeah, because he's prideful, which shows you that's what they were following. They were following pride, which means they were all in their belly, which proves they were all reprobate. It's funny how nobody wants to come into agreement that sin from Adam passed down to everybody. There's people that don't want to believe that. But if you understood how to read the Bible, you could see it. Because if there was a righteous man among them, they would have chose God. But the people chose Saul. Right? And we're talking about as a body, is what I'm saying. As a body. Moses had a body. Jesus has a body. Saul had a body. followers. It's funny. People try to use that today. You know what? You don't just listen to a man talk about God because you like him. It's like, oh, so we're not supposed to like Christians? What? So we listen to people who we don't like. It's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest thing. They try to manipulate people to believe that the only reason you listen to this man or that man is because they got a big following. There's a lot of people that follow them. To me, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like someone that doesn't like it when someone's got a big following and they want them to leave and come follow them. So they go, don't just follow someone that's got a little following like me. Bro, people are so dumb, dude. People are so stupid. And they're like, and I'll just use me. I'll just use me. It's like, oh, y'all just like Trot. That's why y'all listen to anything he says. Oh, so we listen to people we don't like. And they're like, no, that's not what I... And they'll say, no, that's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. I mean, like, you just like him as a person. That's it. You don't like what he preaches, what he ministers. You just like him as a person. I'm like, bro, you people have way too much time on your hands, bro. Way too much time. You're like Peter. Peter's like, Jesus, I know you want me to do all these things, but what about John? Bro, come on, bro. We're still there. Sadly.
Someone has a question.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
All right, who has it?
She said it's Angel Marie. She said, is there a difference between the body and the bride, or are they the same?
Yeah, the body and the bride is the same. We are the body of Christ, and the body of Christ is the bride of Christ. They're the same. Yeah. And there are people that don't want to believe that they're the same, but they're the same. They're the same, bro. When I first heard this argument 10 years ago or something, oh my gosh. They're like, no, it's not the same. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you. It's the same. It's the same, man. The Bible says we're one body, one spirit, one mind, right? Ain't that what it says?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this body, this one body is the bride. Okay. And there will be people that they'll say things like, well, Trot just don't understand. No, I understand. That's why I do what I do, because I do understand. 100% understand. It's them that don't understand. They don't. They don't. There's people that come in here that will say, well, Trot, he knows a lot about this, but he just don't understand this. Well, that means you haven't heard me talk about it. Be careful about telling people what you think someone else understands or not. Be careful with that. Because if you haven't heard them talk about it, that doesn't mean they don't understand. There's a reason that there's certain things I don't talk about. But the guys, when we get together, they'll ask certain things, and I'll go over a lot of stuff when we get together. I just don't talk about it on here because you got people that will go pull their hair out, not even knowing where the heck I got that from. They're like, what? Where'd that come from? You know what? When I first came on TikTok, everything I said, everybody's pulling their hair. What? Where the Garden of Eden? What? Now all of a sudden, everybody's talking about it. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Everybody, it's all over the place on TikTok now. Every time I open my mouth, everybody, okay, well, that makes sense now. But not at first. No. Just one thing at a time. And if I ever feel like I run out of information, you'll know. I'll be like, well, guys, I gave everything I got. I got nothing else. Take the wheel from here. Take the wheel. Let's see. That's the only question I see. All right, where are we at? Let's see. Brought the bones. Moreover, the Philistines. We already went over that. So 16 is the one giant. And then where is... Where's the name we just looked up? Saf. Oh, that's an 18. All right. Let me read 17 again. It says, but Abashi, the son of Zariah, succored him and smote the Philistine and killed him. So the giant that was trying to unalive David, it says Abashi unalived him. What is Abashi's name? Did we already go over Abashi?
Yeah.
What was it?
Son.
Yeah, son of Jesse. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, son of Jesse. Yeah, okay, so the son of Jesse smote another giant. 18, it says, and it came to pass after this that there was again. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me read the last part. I'm sorry. Then the man of David swore unto him, saying, thou shalt go no more out with us to battle, that thou quench not the light of Israel. And it came to pass after this that there was again a battle with the Philistines at Gob. Then Sabachi, the Hishitite, slew Saph, which was the son of the giant. And there was again a battle in Gob, where the Philistines and the Elanim, the sons of Jeroboam and Bethlehemite, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite, the staff whose spear was like a weaver's beam. And notice they're slaughtering a bunch of giants. Right? They're slaughtering. And we went over, let me see, what did we, let me see. What study was it when I went over the slaying of the giants? I don't remember. Oh, the end of the Nephilim, right? So if you haven't seen that, go see it or go listen to it, watch it, whatever. It's on YouTube, the end of the Nephilim. And I talk about that God sent water to destroy the Nephilim, and then he sent a people, right, David, to destroy, like to kick them out of the land of Israel or land of Canaan. And then you have a continuous, right, of the chasing down the rest of the giants, which you see right here. And then all of them pretty much get slain here, right? Because it's a trifecta. Let's see, the sons of the giant. Already read that. So 20. So we're at 2 Samuel 21:20. And there was yet a battle in Gath, where was a man of great stature, who had on every hand 6 fingers, and on every foot 6 toes. 24 in number, which is 24 in number. And he also was born to the giant. And hey, somebody look up that word giant there in 20 and tell me if it means bully. Give me the Hebrew word for that.
Rapha.
What does it mean?
It says giants, Rephaim, old tribe of giants.
We don't say bully or something right there?
In the sense of invigorating a giant, Rapha, Rephaim.
So no? The answer is no?
The root. No bully.
No bully. Okay. All right. 21, it says, and when he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimei, the brother of David, slew him. These 4 were born to the giant of Gath and fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. So what are the names of the 4 giants that just got slaughtered? Let's go over them so everybody can see that. Right. Everybody always asks, why did David pick up 5 stones? And it's because there were 5 main giants that were unalived. So let's go over the names of those giants. The first one is Goliath. And then somebody go down. Somebody go find the second one. Let's do them in order. So where's the second? What's the name of the second one?
Ishbibenob.
All right. And then what's the one after that?
The one after that was Sibachai.
Okay.
Saf.
Okay. All right. So in 16 it's Ishbibenob.
Saf.
And then what verse is the other one in?
18. Saf.
Saf. All right, Saf. And then the last one is...
Then it doesn't say. It says, and there was yet a battle in Gath where there was a man of great stature.
Right.
Doesn't really give a name for the force.
I feel like it does. Check into Chronicles. I don't know why I think that there's...
Oh.
No, I don't recall. I feel like all the names are... I feel like I remember all the names were given.
Yeah, it says Lahmi. Lahmi, but I don't know if that's going to mess up the order. I guess if Lahmi is the last one in Chronicles.
Yeah. Yeah, so right here, we have the first one that is given to us is Ishbi Benob. Okay. And then we have the second one, which is Saf. Yeah, 18 is Saf. Okay, and it says 19 says where Elhanan. It says Elhanan, the son of Jeroboam and Bethlehem, slew the brother of Goliath, the Gittite. Okay, so the brother of Goliath, the name's not given right there, right?
Also, Mick had a question.
Yeah, hold on, let me... Saf. All right. Yeah, but I think I got the names from the rabbis, man. I don't want to mess up the Bible. But I don't remember. So I think one of them, I think that's what it is. I think two names is not given to us directly unless it's in the Chronicles. But one of them's not. I think that's what it was. One of them's not. It says, and there were, the man of great stature. I'm going to put,
is that like saying trot? The reason it's unnamed is because that technically is a name? Because it's a man of great stature, so it'd be a man of pride?
No, they're all considered men of great stature. All of them are. So somebody go look in Chronicles and see if you can find, because I want to say there might be one, and it might be the last one. I don't remember if it's Goliath's brother or the last one, but I think one of them is not, the name is not given. But man of great stature is going back to Nebuchadnezzar. You understand? High, tall, pride. Okay? Unless in context, it's talking about a godly man. Remember, there's two of everything. So there's two hills, two mountains, and there are two prides, just like there's two lusts, right? The Bible tells us that the flesh, that you can lust after the flesh, that the spirit has a lust and the flesh has a lust. It calls it the lust of the flesh or the lust of the spirit, but it's not talking about, sexual things. Kelly, Jay Spazin said 1 Chronicles 20:4-8. Somebody go there. First,
I did. That's the name I gave. That's Lahmi.
Okay, so then that's the brother of Goliath, right?
That is the brother of Goliath.
All right, spell it real quick for me. Kelly, I see you. Just give me a second.
It is Lahmi.
Lahmi.
MI.
MI.
Like MI6.
Okay, so if the man of great stature, right, the last man, 6 toes, 6 finger, 24 in all, if he has a name, it's either in Chronicles or I got it from the rabbis, man. So I'm not trying to say it's in the Bible, okay, but it still points to 5 in total, right? Goliath, Ishbin, Ishbenab, Saph, Lahmi, and the last man, which those are 5 men. And people say, well, that's why David picked up 5 stones, which is absolutely correct. That is because it's representing a stone for each one of them. But the man of great stature, right? The man of 6, which is a number of man, they're all taken down by grace, which is God's net. That's how you catch. It's the goodness of God that leads to repentance, which is the stone that attacks, but it doesn't attack the way people think. It attacks the enemy, but yet saves the person, right? So when you have Jael, when it says she comes out of her tent, takes the man into the tent, and she takes a tent stake and a hammer, and then drives it through the man's temple, it's still pointing to the stone that has to be thrown to the carnal mind. It's still talking about that the spirit is what brings the man back, right? Because of the carnal mind, which is the head of Goliath, which the Bible tells us that Jesus' heel is going to be bruised, but the snake's head is going to be crushed. On and on. This type of language is throughout the entire Bible. So here you have the 4 other brothers of Goliath, which is representing the other 4 stones that David took out of the creek, but he took the stones, smooth stones. It was a weapon not used with hands, because that stone is representing Christ, which is what we have to use to bring someone back to the Lord. And they were taken from a creek. They were taken from water, which is representing the living water, which is where we get empowered from, right? Okay, who had the question?
Chat.
Think
Mick.
If Nephilim are always male.
Do what now?
He asked if Nephilim are always male.
I don't recall a Nephilim having a feminine quality, because Nephilim were supposed to represent man, right? Which they would be male. Yeah. Yeah. Is that what Mick asked?
Yes.
Is that what Kelly was asking as well?
Yeah. We got you, Chad. We got you.
Kelly was asking for Mick.
Okay, cool. Yep. All right, so let's get back to the name of the woman that took the sackcloth and bring this whole thing together here. You know, it's funny. Usually when you're reading a story, in order to bring it all together, you got to keep reading. What's funny with God a lot of times is once you're done reading, when you bring it back to something that's in the story, he'll put the whole thing together. So it's not about continuing to read. It's about coming back, right? It's about turning aside, right? Not being stiff-necked and recognizing something that was in the story, going back and allowing yourself to look further into what is being said, not to over-spiritualize, but to spiritually understand. There's nothing wrong to spiritually understand something. We have a spirit inside of us. It's so dumb how people only see themselves as fleshly and carnal, as though and they claim to be born again. If I tell someone, how are you born again? You got the Spirit of God in you? Yeah. Oh, no, you're over-spiritualizing. That's the dumbest thing. You're not over-spiritualizing. Your spirit is what's alive. That is what's more true, your spirit, not your flesh. Your flesh is lying to you every day about what's going on in this world. And your spirit is the one that keeps you in high spirits.
All right, back to good old Falcon pavement.
Yeah, Tammy, we just went over that. Tammy, am I tripping, y'all? Ain't that what Mick just asked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tammy, we just went over that literally like 30 seconds ago.
Two Nephilim in the Bible.
Yeah, remember, Nephilim came into this world through women. So the women man, mankind's women is what birthed the Nephilim males. Okay, so when people are like, they're in a sense they're not their own species. You know, it's kind of like a donkey and a mule. Y'all know what makes a donkey and what makes a mule? Anybody know the difference?
Mules mixed with a horse, isn't it? Donkey with a horse.
A donkey and a horse, when they have a baby, you'll get a mule. But mules cannot have more mules. Or maybe I'm saying that backwards. Yeah, so a donkey and a horse, right, they can procreate. But from what I remember, mules can't. Somebody go look that up for me. I may have messed that up.
No, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think mules are sterile, but someone go look it up, please, if you don't mind. Somebody please go look it up. Because the donkey is the natural breed animal, the horse is the natural breed animal, and the mule should come from them. But somebody find out if a mule is fertile or not.
Yes, mules are generally sterile. They are the offspring of a female horse and a male donkey. And while they can live a full lifespan, they typically cannot reproduce.
Right. So with that being said, that's what Nephilim are. Okay? As far as you know, the understanding goes, because it's not like the Nephilim are females and then the female Nephilim and the male Nephilim have babies. That's not really what you see. What you see is the angel, right? So we could say the horse and the donkey have a baby, but that baby is only good for one thing: carrying the burden. just like a regular man. That's why Jesus says, "My burden is light." Right.
This is interesting because have you ever read the remaining reason behind that, Trot, of the why?
Of the why what?
That the mule can't reproduce. It says this is because mules have an odd number of chromosomes, 6 and 3, resulting from the combination of the horse's 64 and the donkey's 62. This odd number disrupts the process of meiosis, which is necessary for producing viable sperm and eggs.
Well, I think you over-spiritualize that, but I think what we can say
I'm over-spiritualizing it. You're right.
You're over-spiritualizing it, but it don't matter.
A 6 and a 3 and a 6
It don't matter. It don't matter if it's true or not. You're over-spiritualizing. Anyway, but yeah, no. So, all right, so let's get back to, let's see, 12... Man, what the heck? Oh, I went too far back. My bad. All right, 10. So we're going back to 2 Samuel 21:10. And it says, in Rizpah. So let's look at the name of Rizpah. I think we already went over it, didn't we?
Pavement Falcon.
Did you say pavement?
Yep.
Okay.
Get old pavement.
Somebody else look up Rizpah and tell me what it means. All right, so Rizpah is... Oh, I don't know why I keep going. Hey, who's on that? What does Rizpah mean?
Pavement.
Yeah.
Nobody, y'all can't find nothing else?
Okay, so it has a root word, which
No,
is,
not the root. I'm not asking for the root.
Okay, so the derivative is H7532. It means pavement.
That's the only word there.
That's the only word unless you go to the root.
Yeah. Other than that, you got a concubine of King Saul, or a tessellated pavement.
And what's the number? 7532.
Yes.
7532. Let's see.
And then in the lexicon, it says a tessellated pavement.
Yeah, but even if you go, because it says same as 7531, right? So it's not just pavement. Yeah. It's not just pavement. It's hot stone. Feminine of 7529. A hot stone, pavement, live
glowing
coal.
Stone.
Yeah, so hot stone, glowing stone, pavement. So pavement's not wrong. Obviously, that's the word. But it's okay when it says same as, and you can kind of go back and just, it's, you know, Strong's doing the best that he can to kind of show you what the word means. And there's nothing wrong with pavement. That's what it means. It means pavement, but it's not wrong also to say a hot stone. It's not. It's not wrong. It's also there. Right?
So does that go to the hot stones that will be placed on their heads?
No. Well, okay. You don't hop like that. The whole context has to be the same. Okay. So let me just do this. So let's go back. Somebody go look up this word right here. So in 10 it says she spread the sackcloth, spread it for her upon the rock. Somebody go look up that word rock. I want to know
6697, which is rock or cliff, rock, block, rock of God, rock of heathen gods.
All right, so it's not Rizpah. What's the Hebrew word?
The Hebrew word is sewer.
Say it again.
Sewer.
Say it again.
Sewer.
Sewer. Okay. All right. It says, okay, upon a rock from the beginning of the harvest. All right. That's not the focus, but now, what is sackcloth used for?
Mourning. When you...
All right. So, is she in mourning?
Yes.
Yeah, they just unalive her son. So she took sackcloth, and normally, what are you supposed to do? Aren't you supposed to wear it?
Yeah, you put it on yourself.
Yeah, but she didn't. She put it on a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She put sackcloth on a rock. So she put sackcloth on a rock, and it says that she put it there at the beginning of the harvest. And it says until water dropped upon it. Now, the dew from heaven, if that's not understood, you're missing. This is not going to be easy to see if you're not understanding all this other stuff. So the dew of heaven that came on Nebuchadnezzar, the dew of heaven that came on the fleece of Gideon's fleece, all that stuff is pointing to living water, which is the word, the spirit. That's what it's pointing to. But she took the sackcloth. What, Jennifer?
Okay, so I looked up the word sackcloth, and it says also same material.
Unknown caller.
Hold on a second. Say it again. Same material. What?
It says same material spread out to lie on. Like to lay down.
Yeah, but when it says same material, what material? Same as what material?
As to put on to mourn.
Yeah. So she puts it on a rock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, so basically all you did was look up sackcloth, and it means sackcloth. It's just saying it different, but that's still what it means. You understand? Or no, you don't
I
understand?
was wondering if it has some kind of symbolism as when Elijah lied on the child.
Yeah, well, I'm taking us through there. I'm showing you what it means. I'm going through there.
Okay.
All right. All right. So it says, because there's a few things we have to point out. Right now, I'm talking about the dew of heaven. Okay. So she put it there at the beginning of the harvest, at the end of the harvest, because she's mourning. So we've already discussed that she's mourning. We've already discussed that. But she put it there at the beginning of the harvest until it rained. Oh, man, excuse me. Apologize. And it says, and suffered neither the birds of the air to rest on them by day, nor the beasts of the field by night. So where do we see something similar like this in the Bible? Man. Abraham, guys. Abraham.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm literally about to say that.
But you did it. But
Yeah,
you
because
didn't say it.
tell me,
I gave you
don't
plenty
say the
of
first thing
time.
that comes to your mind. Don't give me your first thing that comes to your mind.
No, I didn't. I'm not saying don't give it to me. I'm saying when the first thing comes to your mind, meditate. Make sure. Meditate. You just need.
Because he swatted away the birds.
Well, he didn't swat them away. I mean, they weren't insects, and he had a fly swatter. Bro, they're freaking buzzards. They're big birds, bro. I guarantee you it was big and small birds trying to eat all that meat that he... So, Abraham was told to chop up these animals and put them on a rock, right?
Yes.
All right. And he had to fight away the fowls of the air, obviously, because they wanted to eat the flesh of those animals. Now, this goes all the way back to the eating of the flesh, right? Jesus said, you have to eat of my flesh. Goliath told David, today the fowls are going to eat your flesh. And David said, no, they're going to eat yours. Joseph is in prison. And he interpreted the dream of two men. And one of the men told him that in a dream he had baked meats on his head and the fowls of the air came to eat it. But that man died. Goliath died. Abraham did not die because he didn't allow these fowls of the air to eat the word. Did not God tell Abraham to do that to those animals?
Did.
All right. He told him to do that, so therefore it was God's word for that to be done. Jesus tells the parable of the sower, and he said that a man went out to sow seed. Some landed on the wayside. They didn't understand it. Jesus said, the ones that land on the wayside and the fowls of the air that come to eat the seed, he said the seed is the word. They come to eat the word. He said, the fowl of the air is Satan trying to steal the word. So Abraham was stopping Satan from stealing the word. That's what this woman was doing. You understand? Yes, no, maybe so.
Yep.
Marie, would you say you guys are funny? What? Why are we funny, Marie? What's funny? Please tell me. I want to know. I want to know. This is us standing on the word. Abraham is us. This lady's doing the same thing we're supposed to be doing. We stand on the word. Right? All right. Man. I'm sorry. My nose is getting me today. All right. So she put this on a rock from the beginning of the harvest. So, if you don't, let me ask you this. You think she went home every night?
Nope, she stayed right there.
What'd you say, Marie? When he said he was about to say the same thing. Oh, I know, Marie. Watch, you got to watch Christian. Christian be lying, bro. I'll be giving out the goodies, and he's like, I said it. I said it. I was going to say it already.
I was not lying. Don't bear false witness.
It's not false. If it's true, it's not false. You need to stop lying, sir. Lying's a sin.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Lying's a sin, sir. All right, let's see.
I'm not lying.
Okay, now you lied twice. How long are we going to do this? Don't say it's not a lie again. That's 3 times. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. All right, let's see. Rhonda, what'd you say, Rhonda? Probably all the pollen and tree dust from outside. Nah, it's not really allergies. I mean, obviously allergies play a role in it, but there's a injury I don't want to talk about, but that always has my nose running. But when you add a little sniffle to it from the pollen, yeah, buddy. Let's see, how many Hail Marys now? He's got to do them all. He's got like 42 rosaries, and he don't even have a regular rosary. I think rosaries have like 30 or 40 little beads on it. He's got like 97 beads, like just one rosary. Yeah, that's how bad. He's a bad man. He's a bad dude. All right, let's see. Let's see. Okay, so all right, so did she go home every night or what? Huh?
No.
What'd she do? What do you think she did?
She sat there.
Bro, she stayed there.
Up.
She stayed there until it rained. You understand? Somebody find out how long is it typically from the beginning of the harvest until it starts raining. How long is that? Somebody find out real quick. So we can have an idea.
Well,
we can have an idea.
It says in the spring until the autumn.
Yeah, so keep reading till you give us a real answer, okay? Till you give us a real answer. That doesn't tell nobody nothing, dude. That's like asking somebody when their birthday, or no, when you ask somebody, how old are you? Oh, well, I was born in 92. You don't make somebody do the math. You freaking tell them how old you are, man. That's what you're doing right now, Christian. It's like, hey, what is this? Well, you're literally saying the same thing the Bible says. She started at the beginning until it started to rain. Bro, somebody give me an answer. Lord have mercy. Somebody give me an answer. I got to do it myself. Oh, my gosh. All these people in here, and I got to do this myself, man. Crazy, dude. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Trey. I appreciate that. Hey, Trey, how old is your kid? The kid is 93 months. Thank you. Let me divide that by 12 real quick, and thank you for. Let's see. Oh, man, what happened? Fine. All right, I'm finding several answers. Some are saying 2.5 months. Some are saying 3.5 months. Some say 4.5 months. Huh?
It says 4 to 6 months.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not going to be 6 months. I don't think so.
If it starts in April, it says in Israel,
well, again,
there's a distinct dry season.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Well, let's just play it. Let's just play it simple and say 4 months, okay? Let's just say 4 months. Bro, she sat there for 4 months. Are we tracking on what she did? When you don't study like this to try to figure out what the Bible is saying, you're not going to really get a radical understanding on what's happening. You're not. It's not going to happen. You just think that maybe she was there for a couple of days fighting off fowls of the air. No, bro, she was there for like 4 months. Are we tracking a little bit at least? This lady took sackcloth, put it on this big old rock, and she didn't let any animal find rest on this rock. She didn't let no fowl of the air or beast in the field find rest on this rock. I'm going to say it was a decent sized rock, bro. You understand? I'm going to say that rock was probably, if you want to do a circumference or maybe a diameter, I'm going to say that sucker was probably 60 inches because of 430 would be, yeah, so probably 60 inches in diameter, big enough for a person to lay on, right? So that's about 6 inches, right? That's probably about 10 to 12. You understand? So that's probably about 20. So I want to say this. If you can see this flag behind me, you can't see the other side of it unless I do this right here. That whole thing, like the length of that, I want to say that's probably 4 feet, I think. Right? So if you make that in diameter, right? 4 feet, what is that? I think 3 feet is 36, so 48. So 48, 50, so 50 to 60 inches in diameter, meaning it stays 4 feet all the way around. So that would be a large blanket, a large sackcloth, something you would throw on top. Because when they wore sackcloth, it wasn't like clothing, even though you can make it clothing. It was just a big blanket, and they would put it over their head and slap themselves sometimes. That stuff actually still happens in certain areas, but she took that sackcloth, laid it down on this big rock, and that's where she stayed. That means somebody brought her something to eat. That means when she went to the restroom, you know, she probably had someone, stay right here, I'll be right back. Went to the restroom and came back and said, now leave me in peace, or went to restroom on herself. I've seen people do that in real life. They were mourning over an unalive person somewhere overseas, and they didn't leave that person. They stayed right there. Some of them got sick. They didn't want to leave. So this practice has kind of been passed down in certain areas. Let's see. What'd you say, Cornerstone? Is it not 4 months and then the harvest? I don't understand your question. That's what it says. It says that she put the sackcloth there until it rained. So that's what we're talking about. She put it there until it rained, right? Let's see. It says, and spread it for her upon the rock from the beginning of the harvest until water dropped upon them out of heaven. Right. So that'd be approximately 4 months. YOLO. YOLO, wait a minute. Is that YOLO? Is that YOLO from the Down Under? YOLO, is that you? From the Down Under with the kangaroos rain. Is that you, buddy? That's me. Man, where the heck you been, bro? Been wrestling them kangaroos, have ya? Man, stop staying away so long, bro. I'm glad I remember. You would have waited another 3 to 6 months. I'd have been like, no, I don't know who you are, YOLO. How's everything been, man? That's good. It wasn't a question. Cornerstone, here lately you've been playing games, bro. What do you mean? Look, I'm looking at you right. It says, I'm looking at your question. It says, is it not 4 months and then the harvest? Question mark. There's a question mark right there, bro.
Yeah, but I think
so.
I think he was using it as a questioning statement.
Well, it doesn't matter, bro. When you write something down and you put a question mark at the end, it's a question. Okay? It's a question. So you said I was quoting something. Well, then if you're quoting something, put it in quotes, right? Put it in quotes so I know it's a quote, right? When you write something down and you're quoting someone, you put quotes. That's what they're there for. Y'all gonna have to forgive me, man. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. Tammy, what'd you put? Right? Question mark is a question. Even though that's not what you meant to do, but I'm saying I'm not the smartest in the world, but I'm educated enough to know that if you put a question mark on the end of something, it's a question. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. John 4:35 there. Yeah. So next time, to help me who's reading this, put John something, put quotes. I know you're quoting, but if you just put it out there, put a question mark, it's a question to me, right? Because I'm the one reading it. Come on, give me some grace here. Give me some grace. Right? We gotta be honest here. It's gonna look like a question if it has a question mark. Let's see. YOLO, been working, man. Trying to get ahead. How's your life? Man, my life's amazing. Man, YOLO, don't ask me how I'm doing, bro. Everybody gonna get mad and leave. Don't ask me how I'm doing, man. If I was doing any better, man, you couldn't stand it. You hear me? You hear me? Hard work matters. You understand? Hard work matters. If your life sucks, all you got to go do is go find a job somewhere that will let you work nonstop. And before you know it, money is no longer an issue. Money is not everything, but let me tell you something. If you want your life to be hard, let money be a problem. That make your life hard. If you don't want money to be a problem, just go work till your fingertips fall off. That's all you have to do. Sadly, people don't want to do that. All right. Jobs ain't hiring nowadays. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. I know that there's some people that's not hiring like they used to. But what I'm saying is there are people hiring. Usually what's happening is people don't want to go do that. Right? So if there's 50 places hiring and you're like, well, I only want to do those 7. And out of those 7, you only have really an opportunity to get one job. That means out of 50 jobs, you're like, nope, if I don't get that job, I'm not working. Then you don't want to work. Somebody will hire your butt. Okay. But you might have to start off breaking your back. It's been like 2 years. YOLO, when's the last time you came in here, bro? It ain't been 2 years, bro. Don't do that. People don't want to work. Oh, no. Trust me, they don't. I could tell you a story right now. I'm not even kidding. Me and my heifer was at a taco place, and there was a person working there. They might have been in high school. I don't know. But we heard the boss tell that person that they're fired. Go home. Well, that person decided that they're going to sit in there and like play on their phone, right? And one of the managers came and said, hey, what are you doing here? You got to leave. You can't stay here. So I don't know. Obviously, that person did something stupid. And they're like, well, why'd you fire me for? And you should just hear the conversation. They're like, what do you mean? You can't sit down at this job. So the person's in the back sitting down. This is a taco shop. Okay? They stand up and make tacos. That's what they do. I'm not saying they can't set it, I don't know. Maybe they could fix it to where you can sit down and make the taco. But what I'm saying is the business works better, man, if you're standing up making tacos. Well, she kept sitting down. And they literally, this child literally told the manager, what does it matter whether I'm sitting down or not? I can still do the job. Like, bro, if I would have said something to one of my bosses when I was in high school like that, they would have fired me in a heartbeat. It's hard to find good help. All right. That's a fact. It is so hard. It is so hard. Everybody's working for the weekend. Yeah. For real, bro. Everybody's working for the weekend. Man, what the heck is a weekend? I could care less. On the weekend, you know what I'm doing on the weekend? I'm out there bucking. Every weekend, I'm bucking. That's what I'm doing. I'm working every weekend. As soon as I get off here, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out there and work. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to go buck. And when I'm done bucking, I'm going to go do something else. And then we're about to get a skid steer. What do you think's about to happen? I'm telling you, I already know. I'm telling you right now, I already know what's going to happen. Before you know it, I'm going to come back being like Mike Garcia. Yep, I went to go push some dirt today. I don't just have 3. Now I got 4 businesses. If you don't start somewhere, nothing will happen. If you don't start somewhere, nothing will happen. I started off just selling fire. Well, I started off training people on how to pew. That was always something that I did. But doing that, someone taught me how to sell firewood years ago. Well, I started doing that again. That turned into something else. That turned to something else. Well, now I need a skid steer because of how much work we have. Now I needed a trailer. So now I'm going to load up the freaking skid steer in the trailer and go start pushing dirt around for people on their property. I mean, one thing after another, man. That ain't no lie, Hope. That is no lie. My dad, let me tell you, I mean, I might be able to find someone who works as hard as my dad. I'm not saying they don't exist. They got to exist somewhere.
My dad.
Huh? What do you say?
My dad.
I'm serious.
My dad is that.
Dude, okay, well then I'm telling you, I'm not saying. First of all, somebody has to work hard. I'm not going to sit here and say that my dad has the number one, prize when it comes to working hard. But I'm just saying, whoever that is, they got a challenge to me. But I'm not going to say my dad's the number one, but he's top 10. I put money on it. He's top 10. And when you can teach a man good work ethic, there is no such thing as weekend. There's no such thing as weekend. Weekend is when I was 12 and I was in junior high and I couldn't wait for school to be over for the week so I can breathe for a second. That was it. That's when weekend was a thing. But once I get to high school, there wasn't even, what's a weekend? I got work to do. I think weekend was a weekend for 3 years of my life. I don't remember the last time that I was like, oh, the weekend. The weekend? What is that? It's time to go to work. Get your butt outside and go work. Go sweat. Let's see. I don't even know what day it is. Exactly, bro. Hey, me or my heifer. I'm like, hey, what day is it? He's like, I don't know. Let me look real quick. Oh, okay. Today's. What day it is? Man, shoot. Work. Take your butt to work, for God's sakes. I don't care if you got to go flip burgers. Go flip them bad. Be the best burger flipper ever. Golly. At least go to heaven. At least go to heaven, at least teaching someone that hard work matters. Jeez, if you don't teach nobody nothing in life, at least teach them that. All right. I know it sounds like we're hopping around, but we're really not, man. We're really focused on this rock. That this lady went to this rock, put a big blanket, sackcloth down, mourning on it for about 4 months. That's a long time. And she did it until it rained. Gideon put out a fleece so the dew would get on it. Nebuchadnezzar chewed on the cud, and the dew of heaven came, and his hair grew like feathers, his claws like birds. Right? You had the same order. The same order. But let me ask you, did she put the sackcloth on herself?
Oh, she put it on the rock.
She put it on a rock. It's being very particular. How do you know the context matters? Because she did it until it rained. Nebuchadnezzar chewed the cud until the dew of heaven came. He chewed the cud until the dew of heaven came. And when you go look at the order of fashion, it's never wrong. Never. It's never wrong. The order is always perfect. She didn't wait for the rain.
My heifer.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right. All right, so she takes sackcloth, lies it on a rock. She fights off The fowls of the air, the beasts of the field. Guys, the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field. Look, black letters in a white page, it is talking about animals. But the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field are also talking about people. It's also talking about people, man. That's why it talks about when Jesus talks about himself as many limbs, that the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field come to get shade. All right. Fish in the sea, there's two kinds. There's ones that get caught with the net. There's one that get caught with the hook. So the fowls of the air and the beasts of the field, those are the liars, people that are lying to you. That's what it is. Where do we see this happen, but it's not explained to us as animals? In the story of Elisha, where Jennifer brought this up, but it's not referring to Elisha laying down on the boy or anything like that. But but the lady in that story, her son becomes unalive, and it says she starts walking out of the house, and the handmaid is like, "Is everything okay?" And she said, "Yes." And then someone out in the town as she's leaving, "Is everything okay?" "Yes." She keeps going, and the servant of Elisha goes, "Is everything well?" "Yes." You understand? Fowls of the air. She's going directly to the source with her issue. You understand? If you're a boss at your job, complaints don't go down, they go up. This is a lot of people have this mistake in life, that they complain to someone of their same rank or lower. Now, that's the dumbest thing for you to do that, because most people around you are not for you. So if they're not for you, why are you complaining to them? So they can go back and tell people how you're a little punk and all you do is complain and cry like a little baby. See, you don't know how to harness your emotions. So you think you just tell everybody your emotions like a moron. You understand? That's why people don't like Trump, because one thing he's good at is shooing the fowls of the air. The fowls of the air, the beasts of the field, he shoos them. And if you don't understand that that's the Democratic Party, I'm not talking about you if you voted for or you are a Democrat. I'm talking about the party. It drives me crazy when people hear me talk bad about Democrats. You think I'm talking about you, the Democrat. No, I'm talking about the crazy party that's in Washington. Okay, for whatever reason that you vote for them, you're still not the party. I don't care if you agree with their craziness. I don't care. You're still not it, period. I don't see you, the person, as the party. But the Democrats are always coming against him, or they'll ask him questions. Like, for instance, this is the one that drives me nuts. Okay, I may not know the full truth, but people are such liars, and Trump knows it, that he doesn't even believe the question that people ask him. They'll say, "Do you believe in Jesus?" Jesus, yeah. They bring this up to him, and they go, "Have you ever confessed your sin?" Now, let me ask you this. Is that your business? Somebody tell me, is it your business if Jesus confesses his sin to Christ? Is that your business? Huh? Somebody. Is that your business? So why does he have to answer the media if he confessed his sin to Jesus? Why does he have to answer them? Does he have to answer them?
No, he doesn't.
Let me tell you what would happen if he said yes to that, okay? They would take him saying yes to that and find a way to twist it and mess up what he said. So he's doing a job for a country. That's it. He's not the Pope, which, no offense to the Catholics, which I don't believe is a job anyway. But so Jace, Trump said he never sins. Well, I don't know. I don't know if he meant it or not. One thing I know about Trump so far is he doesn't like to appease the fake news people. He doesn't like to appease them. So he knows that their questions are not honest. So he messes with them. Do you understand? He understands that 99.9% of the questions that the fake news media ask him, it's not an honest question. They're just trying to figure out how to mess up what he says. So what does he do? He just says whatever the heck he wants to him. You understand? Do you confess your sins to Jesus? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever done that. It doesn't matter if he said yes. They would mess up him saying yes. So I don't know if Trump has ever confessed his sins to Christ. But what I'm saying is one thing I've noticed about Trump, he doesn't allow the fowls of the air or the beasts of the field to hinder what he's doing. And you shouldn't either, is what I'm saying. You should not allow the fowl of the air. This is people's opinions about you. You understand? This lady was not going to allow, if she would have said, my son's dead, you know what the maid would have said? Oh, go get the ice cream and let's lay down. You know what? Let's not do nothing for 2 days and sing Kumbaya. That would have stopped her from going to the source. So she says everything is fine. Some people would say, well, she's lying. What does it matter whether she's lying to you or not? It's the source that matters, the source, not the fowls of the air, not the beasts of the field. That doesn't matter. It matters directly who you go to. If you go to God and you're like, my son, that's the same thing that Moses did. Pharaoh was coming and he went to God. He went to the source, but look how he acted. Pharaoh. And God said, why are you crying to me, bro? I've already given you, but he's not trusting in what God gave him. So instead of trusting what God gave him, which is the rod, he went crying to God. And it's happening today. There's people who get saved. They have the iron rod, who is Christ, all the authority on the inside of them. And every time something happens, they go crying to God. Same thing, bro. Your job is not to cry to God unless it was the first time you cried to him and he answered you and gave you Christ. You understand? So when it says God wants us to cry, he wanted you to cry out to him before you were saved so you can get saved. Now that you're saved, all you do is cry to him? Nah. No, you're supposed to take the authority that he already gave you and start utilizing it. But there's people that don't understand that. Let's see. Hope, what'd you say? If he knew the truth, he would speak the truth. Hope, honestly, you don't have to show me you disagree. Just don't say nothing. Okay? If he knew the truth, he would speak to, you know what? There's people on different levels. Now you're being judgmental now. You know what? If the guy is saved, the saving part is what's easy. So, not everybody's going to be able to speak the truth because they're not going to meditate on the word. There are going to be plenty of people that go to heaven and they didn't meditate a lot on the word. They didn't meditate on it. So let's not be judgmental, just because we're a little further along and say, well, no, he don't ever talk about Jesus. Well, again, I've never hung out with them. Can anybody here say they know Trump personally? They hang out with them? No, you just hear what the media tells you. So let's not be judgmental. Let's not do that. Let's not act like we know what people do behind closed doors. We don't know. The job he has is not easy, is what I'm saying. I said I don't care. No, what I mock you? What are you talking about? Don't come up here getting in your feelings. Don't do that. Ain't nobody mocking you. I'm telling you that if you disagree with something I'm saying, you don't have to put it up there, because all I'm going to do is I'm going to read it and then I'm going to do what I'm doing. And then you're going to lie and say I'm mocking you. I'm not mocking you. I'm saying let's not be judgmental. You're being judgmental. So that's not mocking. So let's not now you're trying to turn everybody against me by lying and saying I'm mocking. That's kind of weird, bro. We're really, come on, man. Well, that right there shows me something right there. You probably shouldn't have said that. Don't mock me. No, absolutely not. No, I read both. Okay, so now you're gonna say you're in your feelings, bro. You're still gonna lie about. I'm not even in a bad mood. I know you commented, bro, but I'm gonna read your comment and I'm gonna say something toward your comment. Sounds like actually you started off in your feelings and you're getting more and more in your feelings, bro. Which doesn't surprise me, honestly. But I read
anyway, the rock that was covered.
Hold on a second. I read both statements, Hope. I read both. I don't know why you're saying I didn't. Matter of fact, it doesn't surprise me at all that you would lie and say I'm in my feelings and I'm mocking you. Yeah, I did. I read both of the comments. Now you may say I didn't say them out loud, but I read the whole comment you made. So I really don't see the point of what you're saying. So I'm not mocking you. Let's get back to the statement you made. I'm not mocking you. I'm not mad or upset. I am saying you're being judgmental. So if you don't like that, I don't know what else to tell you. You're being judgmental because the thing is, you've never ate. I mean, have you hung out with Trump? I haven't either. I haven't never hung out with them. That's why I said I don't know if the man is saved or not. But we don't judge someone saying, oh, he's saved or he's not saved, and then we don't personally know the guy. That's not. No, Hope, you heard me read it. I'm telling you, I read the whole thing. You just didn't. People who aren't. Okay. Again, if you're saying I didn't say it out loud, what does that matter? I read the whole statement. So that doesn't even matter. Again, the whole point is you're being judgmental. So you can keep going back to this. You didn't read the whole statement. That's irrelevant. I don't care. Exactly. So if you don't care, why are you making a comment? I think you care a little more than what you're trying to make it to be, honestly. But the point I'm making, just drop it. I'm just saying, let's not be judgmental. That's the point I'm making. All right. So water under a bridge to me. I really don't care. But if you make a comment, everybody knows you make a comment, bro, I'm going to say something about the comment. It's as simple as that. And you're judging me. How am I judging you? What? I got to know. How am I? I'll let you have this one. How am I judging you? By telling you you're being judgmental? That's judging? Oh, bruh. No, you literally said if he knew the truth, he would talk about the truth. I mean, that right there is judgmental. But me telling you that you're being a little judgmental, that's not judging you. I'm literally saying that what you did was judgmental. So, you know, I don't understand that. Someone calling someone out and saying, hey, what you're doing is being judged. That's not judging. That's just telling you you're taking it too far. That's it. So, but like I said, your comment.
Can I ask you a question about dreams?
Yeah. Let me say this last thing, but your comment doesn't surprise me, Hope. I'm just letting you know that. What, Jay? What's your comment?
Like when you have a dream and it seems so out of body, like it seems so surreal, like it's actually happening. Is it safe for me to say that it's like the spiritual realm trying to give a message to my carnal side?
The spiritual realm. Who's in charge of this spiritual realm?
The Lord.
Okay. So the Lord is doing what now?
Try to give me a message.
The Lord is trying to give you a message. So every dream you have, the Lord is trying to give you a message, or what?
No, I'm talking about surreal dreams, about dreams that feel like they're real. Like I know you had a dream that you woke up, you was like, man, you know, like you had to really sit there and ponder on it for a minute.
Yeah. All right. So the question is, do dream all? So again, you know, you can eat something wrong and have a dream, right?
Right, but I'm talking about like an outer body experience. Like if this dream feel like it was just you was awake, you know, it feel like it actually happened. But once you wake up, you're like, man, that felt so real.
Okay.
I'm saying can I say that's like the Lord trying to give me a message, regardless of what happened in the dream, but because of how I felt. So, because all dreams don't feel the same. All dreams, you know, some dreams you know you dreaming. Some dreams you be like you don't know you dreaming until you wake up. Some dreams.
Yeah. So obviously the Bible tells us that people will have dreams. Like the Bible makes that clear. But not every dream is from God. Just like not everybody's opinion is from God. Like not everything is from God, right? Sometimes people are going to act out in the flesh, or sometimes your flesh is having a reaction to something you ate and had a dream. But there are times that there will be a dream that somebody has. I mean, there's times that will happen, right? So you would have to kind of speak about the dream specifically so somebody could help you with whether that dream came from from God or not, right? Because your flesh.
Do you do that?
Do I do what?
Do you listen to dreams to try to, decipher them, give a message out?
Well, the Bible says that interpretations of dreams belong to God, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Joseph said, Joseph said interpretations belong to God, and he said, "Tell me your dream." Right. But it's based on the word. So if somebody's having a dream, it's going to be based on the word. You understand?
Right.
Why
Agreed.
did you? Hey, well, I don't know. You're acting like you had some weird dream or something. You had some weird dream or what?
No. Let me tell you, I always do have dreams that I would like to say they are spiritual, but my son, he is 12 years old. He came to me like this past weekend and he said, "Ma, I had a dream about God." And he told me that in my neighborhood, I'm in the hood, and he was walking down the street and he saw a guy. He not mentioning Jesus. Let me just tell you that. He know who Jesus is, but he not mentioning Jesus. He said God. He said, "I saw a guy on the corner and he had 2 glass jars filled with juice." And he offered him one and he took it and he put it in his pocket and kept walking. And when he looked back, he knew it was God, but then he woke up.
So he said there was he said there was a man holding 2 jars of juice.
Yeah, on the corner, and he offered him one, and my son accepted it, put it in his pocket, and kept walking. And when he looked back, he knew it was God, but then he woke up.
Okay, and that's it. So y'all talk about it? You ask him a question?
Yeah, but I was focused. Yeah, we did. Yeah, I asked him a lot. I asked him to describe the juices that he offered him. He described 2 jars. That's
you didn't leave nothing out?
No, not that I can remember. No, I'm not leaving anything out.
You might want to ask him, like.
Oh, yeah. Wait, he did say that the man was dressed in a white robe. He did. He said, because I said, "How you know it was God?" I did say that. And he said, because he was dressed in a white robe. And when I turned back, that's what he just knew. He said he just knew it. Let me just end with that. He just knew
He said he put the jar in his pocket?
Yeah. He said he put it in his pocket.
What pocket?
Oh, I ain't asked him.
You need to ask him. You need to ask him. What pocket did he put it in? You need to ask him. You might want to ask him to, so a lot of times details do matter, but if you're saying that
the juice was red. Somebody asked me that in the comments. It was red juice.
Yeah. Yeah, just ask him. Say, "Hey, what pocket you put it in?" And just see what he says. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it wouldn't be wrong, to anytime somebody has a dream, you want to write down what it is that they're saying, because after a few days, the dream starts becoming to be a little foggy. It could be a little.
Right.
Yeah. I would definitely just say, "Hey, tell me again." And, who was standing where, on what side, when you were talking to him, where was he, where were you? Like, all that stuff matters.
Right. Like the right side, the left side, and things like that. Right.
Well, yeah, all that stuff matters too. You just got to be careful. You just got to be careful, man, like, about all that. But all that stuff does matter, right? But, you don't have to tell them that it was from God or it is from God. Like, you don't have to do any of that. But what you can do is you can start taking him through the Bible regarding, wine. You can take him through the Bible regarding wine. You can take him through the Bible regarding the color red. You can go through that, and you can tell him that dreams are not doctrine, but I feel led to talk to you about this that's in the Bible. And he might be a little more prone to listen because it's an experience, but experience people have is not doctrine, right? So you just, like I said, I'm sure I've mentioned this before on here, but there's been people that, want to talk about their dreams or whatever. And before you know it, they're having a dream every other night. I'm like, bro, dreams is not doctrine. She's like, "Oh no, but this happened and that happened." I'm like, bro, you need to get in the word, bro. You need to get in the word. I've seen people like they want to live in their dreams. Dreams is not doctrine, and they feel special, right? Your emotions, your feelings can make you your feelings can make you believe that, you know, what you're living out is doctrine. It's not. And so now they want more dreams. Like they feel like they've been touched by God or something. And, you know, dreams are going to come, but it may be an experience that you're having in a dream, but it doesn't override doctrine. And those people have to be told that too. Because if not, man, I met a weird cat one time. Oh, man, dude. He would go to people and be like, you had a dream. Let me tell you what it means. And he would open the Bible, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, you know. I was like, what are you telling him about his dream? So I said, hey, what's your dream? I wrote it down. Shh. And I said, hey, what are you telling him about his dream? And he goes, oh, I'm telling him right here. And so he opened the book of Proverbs, and he was reading the book of Proverbs, and he was telling him about his life in the book of Proverbs. And I was like, bro, what you're doing, that's not biblical. He goes, what do you mean? He said, I'm helping him. I said, no, you're becoming a medium. You're just, nah, bro, that's not what those scriptures mean. Yeah, it does. It means it for him. No, bro, that's not what those scriptures mean, bro. And people can get caught up in some weird stuff, you know. And I said, who taught you to do that? He goes, well, I had an aunt. I was like, bro, was she in voodoo? Wow, how did you know that? I said, bro, that's not how you use the Bible. Absolutely not, bro. You better stop doing that. He's like, what do you think's going to happen? I was like, bro, I'm not going to go through there, bro. But what you're doing right there, you better stop. That's all I'm going to tell you. And, you know, I don't know. It took me a minute to kind of get him away from that, you know, but that's what he would do. People would talk about their dreams, and he'd go like to the book of Proverbs or Psalms, and he would start reading it, and he'd be like a little medium. Yeah. So in your life, you used to do that. Like, bro. And he's like, you don't think that's one of the gifts of the Spirit? No, bro, because everything you're talking about is death. No, bro. No, bro. That's not from God, what you're doing. And that man that would always go over there, you know, and I didn't see the guy all the time, but certain places that I would talk about God, I'd run into the dude every once in a while and be like, hey, you still doing that? No, I don't do that no more. But it was a bit odd for a few months. It was a bit odd, you know. Would you say, Soft? Thanks for calling them out. Yeah, and you know, calling someone out sometimes can seem, you know, real personal, but it's not. Like what just happened with Hope on here. It ain't nothing personal. It's just sometimes you got to tell somebody. They're going to be mad, but the Bible makes it very clear that open rebuke is better than secret love. People are so scared or afraid, like, you know, like, oh, this person's not going to be my friend. No, it's okay. It's okay. As long as you're not attacking them like on a personal level, like if they're fat or something and you're like, you're just a big old fat, that's not rebuking. When you start attacking someone like more on a personal level, that you're not rebuking, that's something wrong with that. So I don't know how people think that's okay, like to start personally attacking someone. It has nothing to do with anything. Yeah. So, you know, and also, just because you're telling someone the truth doesn't mean you can get in their business. You know, telling someone the truth is based on what is happening right now, not what happened yesterday, day before. That's not, well, I was just telling him the truth. That's not, you're no longer just telling someone the truth. Okay. Now what you're trying to do is you're trying to add fumes to the fire. That's not telling someone the truth, right? It's like, oh, well, 4 days ago you were on TikTok arguing with someone. What does that got to do right now? Nothing. That's that person's not coming with the right heart when you start doing that. So, you know, hold on a second.
While we're on pause, I would like to say I could call myself a dream decipherer, but I'm a beginner. But I can definitely decipher a couple dreams. Now, let me just put that out there.
Well, as long as it's through the word, because you just got to be careful, because there's always people that says, you know, oh no, I can tell you what dreams mean, and I can tell. Well, what I'm going to say is it has to line up with the word. If it doesn't line up with the word, then you're not deciphering a dream. right? I'll just make that real clear because I've seen people say, "Oh yeah, let me tell you your dreams," and they become a palm reader, and you're just like, "Bro, that's not what that dream means." And they'll say, "Well, how do you know? How do you know what that dream?" That's not what it means, but you go ahead and do you, right? You do whatever you want, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful with that because I know there's a lot of cultures out there that say that they agape. I appreciate that, obviously. How come it won't let me?
No, I agree with you though, because if somebody could tell you their dream and you sitting over here trying to tell them what you think it meant, and now they pondering on your meaning instead of pondering on the dream. So I could definitely agree with you when you say you got to be careful about.
Yeah, you got to be careful because everything, the way that the Bible, for instance, when the two men came to Joseph, and said, "No one can tell us our dream," if you pay attention to their dream, it's all biblical. He said, "There was a vine before me. That vine is Christ, and on it was 3 branches. We are the branches. We are." The whole thing is pointing to the Bible. So when someone's telling you a dream and it's not pointing to the Bible, then it's not from God. And you got to be real careful when you're telling someone about their dream, right? So like I said, the goal is for people to know Christ. That's the whole goal. Once they know Christ and they understand the word, if they happen to be led to explain, to help somebody out because of a dream, that's fine. That they're led to do that. But our job is not to, just because I know the word, I'm going to go look for everybody that says they have dreams and just start opening all the dreams. I don't feel led to do that. But I know when and when not to explain a dream to somebody. I know when and when not to. So I'm just saying everybody has to, it's not something that you're not supposed to take advantage of a gift and then go around and now all of a sudden you're a freaking palm reader. Well, the God told me I'll tell dream. You'd have a line full of, you'd be a millionaire. You could tell anybody what a dream means. You know what I mean? Like you could just say, "Oh, the Bible says this," and let me see your hand. And you got to be real careful with that. You have to really 100% be led to say, "Hey, tell me your dream. I want to go over your dream with you based on the word." All right. But just because anybody says, "I got a dream, I got a dream, I got a dream," that's not what this is. That's not what this is. So I've never been led to sit there and sit down and say, "Tell me your dream." Whole line full of people, and you're like, "Wow, I'm really doing something." No, that's not how dream. Joseph didn't just sit there and it says, "And everybody in Egypt came to Joseph and he expounded on all their dreams." That's not what happened. Okay, it was very specific for a specific reason why he went over the dream. And that's that. So like Jay right now was like, "Well, I really feel like well, I'll tell you what, when you got a line in front of you, you're not doing it right. That ain't how that works, right? It doesn't turn into a business, right? Jay's palm reading, bring your dreams to Dre. I mean to Jay. Jay Dreams. Jay Dreams Club. Come to Jay Dreams. That is not biblical whatsoever. It's for instance, like right now you said your son had a dream. Okay, fine. You need to ask him what pocket did you put, and don't lie. If he says, "Oh, well, I put it in my back pocket." Okay, back right, back left. "Oh, I put it in my back left." Okay, well, don't say he put it in his front right. You start lying about he needs to, either he knows what he did with it or he don't. "I don't know. I put it in my pocket." Which pocket? "I don't know." Well, then he don't know. That's it.
Exactly.
That's it. Now we can say, okay, but you took one, and then you ask him why. Why did you take? So did that person say take one? Well, how did he take it?
No. He said he just held out his arms. He just stretched out his arms. He said both of his arms.
Okay, but what made him think that they were for taking?
I ain't asked him that.
All right, you got to ask him. You got to ask him. Say you got to ask. Yeah, but you got to ask him why. What made you think you could take one? You say, "Are you a little thief? You want to go steal? You trying to tell me you want to go steal?" I'd ask him that too. You want to take stuff that's not yours? Ask. You got to ask. What made you think that you could have one? You got to ask. And if he said, "I don't," and if he's like, "Well, I don't know,"
because he offered.
Well, you know what? You're right. I should ask them questions, but I was too busy pondering on these glasses that he.
All right, so Jay,
he described the glasses.
Jay, did the person offer to give him one?
He didn't speak. He just held
All right,
out his arms.
Meow. He didn't offer. Meow. He didn't offer it. He just stuck his arms
He
out.
said like one of them gave him, like he handed this juice to him.
No, I know,
So
but
he
it was
thought,
because
like, I will accept
no,
this.
but it was because he put his hands out. It wasn't offered first. He stuck his
Right.
hand out. There's a difference. It matters.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it matters. It matters. What was it offered to him? Did he just stick his hand out? All those things matter, you know. But again, you know, the Bible says you have not because you ask not. So if that was him asking, then that's why he got one. You understand, right? So there's a lot that goes on when you're trying to help someone understand a dream. But what I'm trying to tell you, that people get in their flesh real quick, and as soon as you help somebody one, they think you got like this special thing, like that idiot that wanted to buy the spirit from the disciples. They're like, oh, give me that gift. Yeah. And it's like, whoa, bro, And if you don't have a contrite heart, you'll run with it. And before you know it, you got Jay's dreams from 8 to 8. Like, what?
Trust me.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, you know, so it's not like this broadcasting. No, that's not how it is. It's, you just know when you can show somebody about a dream, and then deep down, you know, you're supposed to tell them, hey, this is not doctrine, bro. This is doctrine right here. This is not your dream. Well, I don't know. You know, I kind of feel special because no, ain't nobody special. Ain't nobody special, bro. This is leading you to the Bible. So if you don't pick up the Bible and read it, and you start chasing butterflies, well, then that's not what this is about. You know. Benny said, I ought to grab me some juice too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the main thing I was focusing on. I'm like, boy, did you take it? You know what I'm saying? I ain't get too deep into his dream, but
yeah.
I did ask him to tell me the dream 3 times just to make sure he wasn't lying. You know how kids be.
Oh, I know. I know. And you do. You have to say, okay. So I'm just telling you, take a piece of paper, ask every question you can, and we could talk about it later, but you need to ask because it all matters. That's why I asked you. I said, hold on, are you sure you're not leaving something out? You see how I knew? I knew. I was like, you sure? Yeah. And you're like, no, wait a minute. He said the man was dressed in white. Well, don't you think that's of importance, right? Like, you need to know that, you know. And then you got people that they get dream crazy, and now they got 20 dreams. They want to talk. Every time I had another dream, say, hey, that's not, bro. Nah, bro, we're not going another dream, a dream. No, bro. No, God's probably telling you to tell me. No, bro. No, I know what God's telling me to do. He ain't telling me to follow you around and be your little, what do you call it? What's those? What do you call those people? Gypsy. I'm not your gypsy, bro. Okay. I don't carry around a crystal ball. Calm down. That's not how it works. It's not what that's about, you know. But to say that dreams are not something that happens today, it's a lie. They do, but I'm telling you, the flesh will run with it, and it can turn into something bad real quick. It can. If you're not using that dream to tell them the truth, that they need to get in the Word, and Jesus is the one that you need to be. This dream is about you finding Christ. If you can't do that, then now it's. I'm telling you, it become weird real quick. Next time we'll see you on live, and you'll be having a crystal ball right there. Dreams, you know. And it's just, and I'm like, and you're like, no, I know about dreams. Like, the gift started, and you kind of went left field on all of us right there on that. You know, so I've seen it. I'm not even kidding. I've seen it. All right. Let me say this last thing about the stone. Let me say this last thing about the stone. So, all right. Oh, my bad. I went the wrong direction. All right. So she took the sackcloth, laid it on a stone, and it said she stayed there until the water came from heaven. And it says, and suffered neither. She didn't let no fowl of the air or the beast of the field at night. So she's standing on God's word. That's what she's doing. She's standing on God's word. And it says, and it was told to David what the daughter of Aiah, the concubine of Saul, had done. So David heard about this. So here's a question. And it says, and David went and took the bones of Saul and the bones of Jonathan his son from the man of Jabesh Gilead, which he had stolen from the street of Bethshan, where the Philistines hanged them. All right, it's just getting into detail that he went to the specific place where the bones of Saul and Jonathan were. And he brought them up from thence, the bones of Saul, the bones of Jonathan and his son, and they gathered the bones of them that were hanged, and the bones of Saul and Jonathan, his son, buried they in the country of Benjamin. Out of all the places, he takes them to the land of Benjamin, and that's where he buries those bones, right? And Benjamin, right, son of the right hand. So this is where he went to bury the bones, in the country of Benjamin, in Zelah. Somebody look up Zelah real quick.
What verse was that?
14. So 21:14.
Okay, so 14. And you're asking Zela?
Yeah, Zelah. Yeah, what does it mean?
Okay, so... Sorry. Goodness gracious. Okay, it's H6762, and it means a rib. Oh, wow.
All right, so it says that, and the bones of Saul, Jonathan, his son, it said, buried they in the country of Benjamin, so the son of the right hand, and it says, in Zelah, right? And it says, in the sepulcher of Kish, his father. So he buried him with his father. So look up Kish. Look up Kish.
Kish means... Okay, H7027 means, goodness gracious, bent.
B-E-N-T, bent?
Yeah, like you bend a pole or something.
Yeah, bent.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and it says, and they performed all that the king commanded. And after that, God was entreated for the land. What does that mean? God was entreated. It should point to prayer. Go look up that word entreated.
Okay, H6279, and it means to pray, entreat, supplicate.
Yeah, pray, entreat, pray. So after the concubine of Saul put this sackcloth on a stone, and she stayed there until it began to rain, now David moved after this. David heard about what she did, and this led David to go get the bones of Saul and Jonathan and bury them in the land of Benjamin in Zel, which is a rib. So he put Saul back where he's supposed to be so he can sleep with his fathers, right? And what led to this was the concubine. Now, what's funny about it is, are concubines Jews? I need someone to show me that this woman, was she a Jew or a Gentile? I need someone to prove it.
I want to know, why was that allowed? Like, if he has a wife, why sleep with a concubine as well?
What do you mean, why?
Like, why back then they had so many wives and also concubines?
To spread their seed, to have more kids. That's why.
So men want to do that now, and why they?
Okay, hold on. Well, you're asking about then. Now you want to talk about now? Listen, to answer your question, it was so they can have more kids. So do you understand the reason?
Right, back then.
Right, back then. Right.
Back then.
Uh-huh. Okay, so now.
All right, so it's against the law now.
Well, it's not.
Do that.
It's not against the law to have a bunch of kids. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying.
So
Maybe
no, it's not against the law to have a lot of kids,
Right.
but they want to have a lot of women like back then.
Yeah. So
Like, didn't Jesus die and that's not allowed no more? Like,
okay, what exactly? Okay, are you saying lusting over other women is not allowed?
No,
Oh.
trying to marry more
Yeah.
women.
So look, back then. All right. So King David. Okay, King David. Let me put this up. Oh, I don't know what happened. So King David. There was a lady. I think her name was Abigail. What was Naboth's wife name? The fool, Abigail, right?
Abigail, yep.
Okay, so Abigail was married to a fool, or she was married to a man named Naboth, and that name means fool.
Okay.
So she was married to a fool, but she was a righteous woman because David was going to go unalive him. But because that was her husband, she stood up for her husband. A lot of women today would have been like, go kill that no good for nothing so I can move on with my life, right?
Right.
But that's not what she did.
Good women.
Right. But a good woman, even though her man's a piece of crap, she's going to take up for her man. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Facts.
So she took up for her man, and David recognized virtue in that woman. It's like, God, you're going to take up for that sleazeball?
Wow.
So he said, because of you, all right, I won't unalive him. So that lady represents wisdom. Even though it was a real woman, only wisdom would have said, please, my man is stupid, but please don't unalive him. So when David heard that Naboth died, he went and married Abigail. You with me, Jen? Jen, hello. You're muted. I don't know if you're muted or not, but you're muted, Jen. Okay, she got a phone call, I guess. Jen, you there?
Yeah. No, I'm back.
Okay. All right. So whenever David heard that Naboth, that foolish man, whenever he heard that she died, that the Naboth died, David sent messengers to her and told her, you're going to marry, the king's going to redeem you. So back then, a widow woman either became a prostitute or she just ate crumbs all day because nobody wanted to marry a woman that was already married or had kids. Nobody wanted to do that.
Or like she's spoiled.
She's spoiled? Do what?
No, not in spoiled like rotten. It's like they see her as used up female.
Well, kind of in a way. Yeah, she's no longer a virgin. Yeah, you could say that. But so David didn't marry her out of lust. He didn't marry her like, haha, more women. That's not why he married her. He married her because she was
virtuous.
Right, because she was worthy to be redeemed. So he married her to put her in the kingdom so he could take care of her because she is really a good woman. Okay, now, obviously, David still had sexual problems because he went and messed around with this other woman. But the Bible is not trying to teach us that men are being lustful. The Bible is showing us that God will redeem. That's the whole point of the Bible, that he will redeem us who are no good. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. So when we start focusing on, well, a man want a lot of women, that's not what the Bible's trying to teach us. The Bible's not trying to teach us on how we can get after a man or after a woman and be mad at them for not being perfect. The Bible's not trying to teach that. But
also that's not allowed. That's my question too. It's not allowed at these days.
Okay. What exactly is not allowed? Redemption? To redeem a woman from?
To have many women. Many women.
What do you mean? Marry? Okay. Okay. Are you talking about having sexual relations with many or marrying many? Which one of them are you talking about?
Marrying.
Okay, yes. In America, that's called polygamy. You can't have 10 wives. It's not allowed.
Okay.
Okay, but that's not what the Bible is trying to teach, and that's why you have Islamic believers believe that having many women is okay because they say they did it in the Bible. These people are missing the entire point of the Bible. The entire point of the Bible is about redemption. That's what it's about. It's not trying to teach you, but black letters on a white page, if you're carnally minded, you think the Bible's trying to show you it's okay to have a lot of women. That's not what the Bible's teaching. It's not. Okay? It's teaching redemption. That's why David sent messengers to Abigail. Listen, messengers, and they brought her good news that you're going to be married to the king. Okay, so the good news was brought to us that we are going to be the body of Christ, the bride of Christ, and we're redeemed. That's the good news. Right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll say this last thing and we'll be done. But the thing is, after the bones were taken, after the bones were put into Benjamin, and then it's very specific on where in the rib, it's because it's pointing that he's sleeping with his fathers. After this happens, he went and destroyed the other 4 brothers or family members of Goliath. After. So after... did anybody find out if she was a Jew or a Gentile?
Well,
Okay. No, I looked up.
Go ahead, Nina.
I looked up her dad, and her dad was a Horite. Horite.
Mm-hmm. And is a Horite a Jew or a Gentile?
I believe it's a Gentile.
It's a Jew. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't know. All right. Well, then we're gonna have to finish. We're gonna have to finish this Monday then.
Well, no, it's not a Jew. And also in 2 Samuel.
All right, guys. I'm serious. I'm serious. Listen. Go find out if this woman was a Jew or Gentile and prove it, because I already know the answer. But I'm not going to sit here and just go over it. But it's important. It's important to know if she's a Jew or a Gentile. So we're going to pick up on that. All right. So we're going to find out if, let's see.
What's her name again?
Somebody spell her name.
Okay, hold on. It's R-I-Z-P-A.
It's Rizpah, but I don't.
Rizpah?
Yeah, Rizpah, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Rizpah.
Okay, got it.
Can you
you.
hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's R-I-Z-P-A-H.
Yeah.
And also, I'm just real quickly, I mean, you don't have to go over it, but when 2 Samuel 3, when it says right here, and Saul had a concubine whose name was Rizpah, the daughter of Aiah, and Ishbosheth said to Abner,
All right, hold on. All right, this is going to take too long. Listen, I need you to write that down, and we're going to go over it Monday. Do you understand? We're going over this Monday. It's already 2. I should have got off at probably 12:30, honestly. So I need you to write that down where you're at, because I'm going to ask you, Jennifer, what was it you were reading? Please don't say I don't know. So write it down somewhere, and we'll go over it. Does anybody got anything before we go? Because we're done talking about 2 Samuel until Monday. We're going to finish it. So let's see. 2 Samuel 21, right? Yeah. All right. Anybody? Anything? Everybody?
Everybody.
Lottie Dottie. That's my man. I'm going to stick beside him. All right, guys. Hey, we're done. We'll see y'all. We're going to finish 2 Samuel.
Friday?
Oh, no. Heck no. There's no way. There's no way, dude. All right. We are done, though. We will see y'all Monday morning. God bless.